You might be asking yourself, hey, Spoctor, why are you wearing the raptor mask again? Well, it's because, everything you're hearing right now has been recorded and, in a, not where you're seeing it. But basically, I'm dubbing myself. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, today, we're gonna be talking about Birdie. 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 Out of all the people I've ever looked into on the internet, Birdie has to be the most interesting case I've ever taken the time to indulge into. Around a year ago, I made around 3 videos during an ongoing series on this one YouTuber named Birdie, a young kid who creates animations on YouTube. Or well, they did because her channel's empty right now. A majority of the online population believes that Birdie has some sort of mental issue that should probably be addressed by the family. Birdie constantly gets themselves into stupid situations full of dramatic and emotional people, themselves included. And this person, Birdie, has been the topic of discussion for a long, long time.
And today we're going to be talking about 3 YouTube content creators, 3 furries, called Doge Dust, Fontic, and Birdie.
Birdie has around 100,000 subscribers and has a very decent following that is dwindling during the production of this video because of the recent events that have drawn forth, which I will get into soon. But yeah, around after a long year lapse, Birdie has returned and is back at their old gimmick, doing really, really irresponsible things regarding her friends and her exes. Now, before you get all yappy, gappy, jappy, and say, Spoctor, don't be giving Birdie attention. Don't do that. Birdie this drama doesn't deserve any attention. Okay, I get it. But there's a bigger picture here that we're failing to comprehend. And hopefully by the end of this video, I'll definitely talk about it, so bear with me. But in short, the basic conclusion about this drama, if you want the short version, is that it's a classic example of middle school drama. It's laughable shit. It reminds me of myself back before I became a YouTuber. Being mindful of what's uploaded was a concept that I never really thought of. And in this situation, Birdie has the same mindset. And since she has a large following, her posts will always be seen by around thousands of people. It's messy. It's my 4th freaking video surrounding this person. Hopefully it will be my last. Maybe it won't be. I'm not gonna make promises though. The hate train at this point, in my mind, has stopped. I don't see Birdie as this awful person anymore. I just see Birdie as this animal. She is a manipulative child with possible mental disorders, and holding that against her won't change who she is, and trying to help her will end in failure. Ridiculing her might make her mind worse, and trolling her will just make her post shit online again.
Got my eyes on a computer screen, trying to work my digits in. I fidget with my lettering, but never with my sentences.
What happened essentially? Why are we talking about Birdie again? Why is she come up? Well, she's coming back into the picture now, recently. What's triggered all of this attention back into her way was a video uploaded not too long ago by Birdie's ex, Doge Dust. And it depicts Birdie killing their ex or their whatever. Birdie killing their ex or their friend in an emotional outrage. Of course, it's a vent. Birdie sent this video to them directly and begged them not to upload it. But they did anyway. They wanted to make this public. For some whatever freaking reason, they wanted to push this into the public. Hey guys, pity me. Birdie's being an ass to me again. Alright, cool, bro. But of course, Doge Dust wanted to capitalize on this and post it online because they just love being activators of drama. Why did Birdie make this, stupid video, you ask? Well, it started off with, from what my sources claim, Birdie became very upset and depressive, and she started venting into a group chat of her friends, with her friends in it.
Everything was pretty much fine, you know? Normal stream stuff was going on, there was normal chat stuff. I mean, everything was fine, it was great. And then Birdie gets sad out of nowhere and vents in the group chat a lot, and eventually I just became, like, normalized with it. It started getting pretty annoying, because it would always kill the group chat, nobody would want to talk. She vented so much, and she kept saying that she was going to cut herself or some shit.
Like, I used to be in a group chat with, like, my friends or whatever, and then, like, I got sad, and then I said I was gonna like, cut myself or whatever, so then,
And I remember Captain Heimgut's getting uncomfortable and leaving. And I told her, hey, don't fucking say that stuff in a group chat. Maybe keep that to yourself, thanks. And then she got pissed off and left.
Everyone got uncomfortable because she kept talking about how she's gonna cut herself. So essentially what happened is that Doge Dust, one of Birdie's exes, got a hold of Birdie's account information. I believe Birdie gave it to Doge Dust themselves, and then Doge Dust decided now was the appropriate and prime time to go ahead and vandalize Birdie's profile.
Sometime after that, the, guess you could call it hacking drama starts. The hacking drama really wasn't even hacking. I mean, if you're gonna give away your password to anybody, like, I only posted a few things. There was like 3 things I posted, and I did some journals and stuff on it.
With a Sprite cranberry meme. It's not even that funny. Sprite, really? The Sprite cranberry? It's not even that funny. What's so funny about this situation is that Birdie both trusted Doge Dust with the account password, but Doge Dust was an ass enough to mess with it instead of telling them it's not a good idea. Doge Dust held a live stream where they explained why they did it with this kind of argument, and it's a pretty piss poor argument.
First of all, you shouldn't fucking give your password to anyone unless they're like close friends or your fucking parents. And then you should, like, I say your parents because sometimes, you know, they need to check up on that stuff. And yeah, Mute Black's right. She could have changed her password after anybody who was on her account was done. But she didn't.
So what you can gather from this is that Doge Dust already knew that it was a wrong thing to do, but she did it anyway to quote-unquote teach Birdie a lesson. And that doesn't make anything any better. In fact, it makes it worse, because you know what you're doing is wrong, and you're doing it anyway.
And all of this, as I said, you can delete these if you, like, if I was on Birdie's account, you could go up here and there'd be a button that says edit page or some shit like that. You could go through and click these off with the little X's. Then they'd be gone. You can get rid of all of this. It would be fine.
Yeah, but you changed her DeviantArt name, which needs to wait 6 months before it can be changed again. That can't be fixed. Additionally, she shouldn't have to freaking fix her profile. You shouldn't have been a jackass in the first place and vandalized it. But this is besides the point. It's just ridiculous. As you can see, it's just ridiculous. And they go ahead and play it off as some kind of joke. Well, if that's your form of a joke, I think that's some pretty pathetic humor. And yeah, so after this, Birdie sends them something nice and reminiscent of her past. And then that's where all the quote-unquote Birdie hasn't changed videos titles are coming from. And also to them, I have to say is, of course she hasn't freaking changed. Nothing we do will change her, and I'll get into that later. But yeah, after this, you obviously have Birdie mad, deciding to make a video of them slicing off Doge Dust's head, and then air humping the air with a nice little text saying, "Fuck you" at the bottom. The situation is quite a mess. It's quite dumb. Out of a channel with around 1/10 of a million subs, you'd expect something so dramatic to be happening, something way more serious than what's actually occurring. It's freaking high school, middle school drama, dude. That's basically what we're looking at here. People hating each other, being petty. Birdie tells people to kill themselves, and these people be retaliant at them. The only difference here is, in the words of a comment that I've read, there's a damn audience of activators watching the whole thing go down. So yeah, that's what we've come back up with and resurfaced with the whole Birdie conversation. If we want to see the bigger picture here about everything that's happened, we need to get the history of this individual and look back on their history. There's generally 3 people. Oh my god, there's an air jet flying by. Wow. Well, wait. There's generally 3 people that everyone currently talks about. Birdie, Doge Dust, and Heimguts, otherwise known as Fontic. We will be calling Heimguns Fontic for the video because that's the name I better know as, and the screenshots reflect the name Fontic more often than not. Fontic and Doge Dust are both Birdie's exes, and both of these people are some of the root causes of Birdie's quote-unquote misery. Fontic dated Birdie twice. They broke up for the first time because, according to Fontic, a Birdie hate group peer pressured her into breaking up with Birdie. For whatever reason she was in that hate group is beyond me. And the second time was due to Fontic realizing that she isn't homosexual and prefers men. Doge Dust is also one of Birdie's exes, whom according to Fontic dated Birdie out of pity, and this was the individual that faked their own suicide for whatever reason. If you remember that person, it was so stupid.
She faked suicide.
Let's just all say, Doge Dust, you committed suicide, okay. Make a new account, don't come back, pretend to be a whole new person. Very easy. Stop getting caught like a dumbass, alright?
So now that you know these two individuals, we'll go through the timeline. Birdie gets together with an individual named Fontic, and her and Fontic had a generally healthy relationship for the span of time they were together. There were quite a few ups and downs that for some reason were placed into the public eye because Birdie just posts everything they freaking think of. Birdie went through what they call the quote-unquote obsession phase. During this phase, Birdie had some major obsessions with YouTubers such as Kitty Dog and Sleepy Kink. And I believe she's also talking about a more recent obsession phase with Fontic. Her obsession phase even went so far as to say that they love Sleepy Kink more than their own girlfriend. I spoke to Fontic about this, and she said at the time it had upset her, but there was no serious internal repercussions, and they went on with the relationship. Furthering time, Fontic later broke up with Birdie for the first time for the reason I said before, peer pressure from a Birdie hate group that she was in for whatever reason. I asked her why she was even in this group, and she mentioned that she was against Birdie at the time. It was a messy relationship, and it probably should have been split up if that was the case. It didn't stay split up. Fontic ran back and got with Birdie again. During this time, Birdie and Fontic were together for around a month before Fontic then realizes they weren't homosexual, and then broke up with Birdie again. It was around a month. This was the beginning of Birdie's hate ride for Fontic, or her apparent hate ride for Fontic. Birdie freaking despised Fontic. Now, alongside that, Birdie was already emotional and craved attention from everybody. It appears that she used this breakup as leverage to get all kinds of attention and showing off everyone how she felt, posting vents and appropriate videos of her murdering Fontic alongside her new girlfriend. Whoa, she got a new girlfriend? That's right, Birdie had a new girlfriend already, Doge Dust, whom we later learned was only dating Birdie out of pity, like I said before, which is pathetic. Birdie's apparent Fontic hate was off the charts. Birdie would publicly post things telling Fontic to kill herself. Herself. And soon after that, we have Doge Dust faking their suicide for whatever goddamn reason.
Stop getting caught like a dumbass, alright?
And even though Birdie still did all these things that emotionally harmed Fontic, Birdie still had a very weird and strong obsession and attachment to Fontic, which perplexes me. I don't understand that. And then it all spirals down into the now. Essentially, Birdie is a mess. She'll post anything and everything, despite the best interest of herself and the others around her. It appears she just can't help herself. It appears that Birdie has a large amount of mental problems that are quite apparent in the screenshots shown. A similar instance can be seen simply by the apparent vocal tone that she has in streams. Her speech patterns are emotionless, very matter-of-fact.
The killing video, where it's like the Christmas one, where it's like, I don't care about you. But anyway,
She interjects laughter where it doesn't seemingly belong. Although most people will do this, normally, but the reasoning of this could be emotional turmoil. These are all speculations, and maybe I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I can confidently say and conclude that most of her messed up nature derives from some sort of mental instability. Birdie had a weird hard-on for the R word, and described it as hot, despite the fact they don't endorse it whatsoever, like any sane person would. She goes as far as to say this about Kitty Dog. she'll say this. I'm not gonna read it for you guys. I'm not gonna say it aloud because I'm not crazy and I'm not gonna let you clip it. Joke's on you. Is that appropriate? Who knows? But it sure is freaking weird. During the time Birdie hated Fontic, Birdie went as far to dox Fontic and post their public information online with a photograph of her face. All of the documentation and screenshots for this event are mostly far out of my reach, but it's generally an accepted fact that this happened among the people that were around when this happened. Here is a censored screenshot. It's the best I could find. It's Fontic's face. Another thing is that her vent art looks like the creations of a madman, and that she appears to use emotional manipulation to get her way. Intentional or not, it happens. Birdie also apparently has a very, very bad obsession problem. The people she clings to are the people she'll never let go of. Birdie is extremely dependent on others for their happiness, or their apparent happiness. The person Birdie has always seemed to cling to was Fontic. Despite the apparent hatred for Fontic, Birdie always had a love-hate relationship with her. Birdie probably disliked Fontic in the way that Fontic would refuse to give her attention, and hated her in that regard. But Birdie probably still deeply loved Fontic, or, you know, in a more aggressive way to say it, was extremely obsessively dependent on Fontic. And her obsession is very visible in other content creators in the past. Birdie will seek the desperate approval of those she looks up to, such as Sleepy Kink or Kitty Dog, going great lengths to achieve such result. But this was on a smaller scale in comparison to her obsession with Fontic. These are a couple clips of videos that she made regarding these people that she was obsessed with, Kitty Dog and Sleepy Kink. Birdie has directly insulted very loyal fans in livestream. I have no idea what kind of motivator somebody would have to insult somebody who supports what you do. There's this one instance where a fan named Alamations, a fan who had drawn fan art for Birdie in the past, appeared on a livestream chat, in the chat of a livestream. Birdie and her friends had this to say.
Wait, what the fuck is Alamation? Oh, wait, yeah, it's like that 8-year-old from YouTube.
Bad. Or
Bad.
like they're frenemies.
Yeah, I mean, her videos have no quality on it. It's just like shitpost videos. I don't know why she got so popular, though.
It's beautiful.
Probably because they're like a young furry, and they're like, hashtag relatable with the kid.
I don't think it's smart to run around and directly insult somebody that you know is one of your fans. Overall, Birdie's just a harsh and evil person. Birdie's also referenced or stated in a journal that she has had to be placed into a police vehicle for apparently physically assaulting their father and vandalizing their sister's. And then they elaborate and say that it all happened when they were 11. Some pretty freaking strange activity for an 11-year-old, don't you think? But yeah, Birdie's just not fit for a lot of things. If you've made it this far into the video, it probably means you're interested in what I have to say. So, you know, it would greatly appreciated if you went over to my Patreon page, link in the description below, and supported me, because I'm about to be a legal adult and I probably need money to sustain myself.
Oh, yeah, 18-year-old. Wow.
Alright, anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Hello, computer. Like I said before, there's a bigger picture here than just Birdie bad. There's things to understand about ideals, mental disorders, and concepts that just people in this internet age cannot understand or comprehend the idea of having a responsibility behind their fan base. And Birdie's a prime example of this. A majority of the people that I've seen lambast Birdie are people who expect her to change as a person. People who make quote-unquote call-outs on Birdie, as if she is this evil person that we've suddenly realized is an awful person. We know she's a bad person. We already know this. You don't need to elaborate. We understand. They could also be some sort of video, some sort of call to her to change her ways. And the simple truth is that this just won't happen. Birdie's mental stability has most likely gone down into a pit of no return. She has had a long time to regain her senses and come to conclusions, and yet nothing has come together in the past years. She is still mentally, in her brain, thinking the same way she did a year ago. And we don't see people trying to help Chris Chan. We have people who ridicule him, and then the nicer people who pity him for his lack of understanding. And then the people that manipulate and troll him, the people who enjoy taking advantage of the easily manipulated. And of course, Chris Chan is an absolute mad lad. Maybe we could say the same about Birdie. And the simple truth is that nothing we can do will change that. The understanding that people in this world are beyond the ability of help by the normal populace should probably be applied in this situation. I'm no better for Birdie than Doge Dust is. And the people that surround themselves with Birdie probably can't help her either. Birdie's done some very unforgiving things, and it's good for the people involved and the people watching that they don't forgive Birdie for it, because there's no reason to right now. There's no reason to forgive Birdie. Birdie's done some awful shit, but we should stop treating it like it's something new, obviously. We should start treating Birdie as an example. We should stop trying to help her and look at her as some sort of exhibit. That might sound inhumane, and maybe it is, but she's as heartless as a goddamn animal. Truly the only words that will somewhat give any substantial help to Birdie is go get therapy and sign off the internet.
Shut that goddamn thing off. I don't care what you do. You get all that stuff off of there.
Because that's really what she needs. And yet the sad truth is, she won't even sign off. Fontek told me herself that Birdie is far too attached to her following that she's accumulated. The following full of fans that she'd occasionally insult. And the following she uses to bomb people with hate. We should treat it like Birdie's not changing anytime soon, and never will. But hey, if it turns out she does, then that's one less person to worry about, and one less person to get views on. Damn it. I need views. Birdie has a sort of lack of understanding over the responsibility of a following. And I know this because I used to have her frame of mind back when I was a small artist on DeviantArt. Everything I posted was only seen by a minority of people, and I treated it that way. I posted things that were quite personal and emotional. Things you'll never expect to see me post online anymore with this 100,000 followers. I posted things against people. I posted things venting about people. Because the internet back when I was an artist was simply like a classroom versus a stadium. And this is the problem. This is one of the problems with Birdie, or even other content creators. They're treating their stadium like a classroom and using it to vent out their problems with others or themselves. I've seen Shane Dawson do this before. Shane Dawson's told a fan to fuck off, and then that fan got like a crap ton of hate. And it's upsetting and disheartening to see somebody you enjoy watching do something so irresponsible with their massive stadium. We see people like Sonic Fox on Twitter that is slowly dividing a community that was never meant to be divided. And it all boils down to an understanding of how to be responsible with a following. Birdie doesn't seem to understand the gravity of her following and how dangerous it is for others. And neither does some other people in this community. How dangerous it is to post private information of others. How dangerous it is to let out emotions to the caliber that she does. The dangers of telling the world you are in a relationship and telling the world of your vulnerabilities. It's not just bad for us, it's bad for Birdie too. Birdie's a prime example of what happens when a mentally unstable person is given a large following. Their mentally unstable actions cause reactions from the public and only further delve the creator into a state of misery. Tomska's a very interesting example of this. Daft Pina, a friend of mine, or a mutual of mine, has created a long, detailed video about how Tomska's mental deterioration and depression causes him to create and depict himself very negatively in the online environment. This essentially hampers the individual improvement process in people like him and Birdie. Depression has a large toll on people who create content, and sometimes creating the content itself can create a period of depression due to burnout or fear of maintaining an audience, especially if the creator does YouTube or creating for their job. Basically, what I'm trying to say is mental health can and most likely will play a large part in online content creation and social media use. Essentially, there are just people online who just simply cannot handle themselves to do the online stuff. There's no real permanent solution to a circumstance like this. There's nothing we can do to stuff like this. There are only things we can do to less activate Birdie. For Birdie's so messed up in the head, she's almost like an object. Yelling at her won't solve anything. As much as we really, and I mean really want to, people really want to yell at Birdie. Especially after seeing stuff like this. It kind of boils down to commentators should understand their goal with their community. And think about this stuff. Are they ridiculing Birdie, trying to help Birdie, or are they just messing with Birdie, man? And understand the idea that trying to help Birdie won't accomplish much. And ridiculing her is just the nature of the internet. If we want to follow the helping path, I think this might be the best way to go about it. We can find one of Birdie's profiles and simply comment, "Hey, I think that looking into some mental health therapy would be good for you." And leave it at that. And see what happens. And if any of you viewers are Birdie's friends or mutuals, I want you to constantly encourage her to go get therapy. And of course, I'm not telling any of you to do what I just said. If you don't want to, don't do it. But if you do want to, I do encourage it. Maybe it won't do anything at all, whatsoever. But you know, that's my final opinion and full opinion on Birdie to this point in time. So I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't kill me for making a Birdie video and maybe saying some stupid stuff. I don't know.